Now, are you much of a surfer? Or perhaps an armchair surfer? Cornwall's surfing heritage is being honoured this weekend by the British Film Institute and the county's film festival. It's celebrating Britain on film, showing archive footage of forgotten stories of people and places connected to surfing in the county. And it's at Boardmasters in Newquay. David Harris is the festival manager and has curated the Britain on film work, and he's on the line with us now. Thank you very, very much indeed for joining us on the programme this morning.
Good morning.
Now, give us a flavour of the short films which are being shown.
Well, we've got a broad collection of films. So we actually have the earliest known footage of British surfing. It involves a chap from London who saw a newsreel of Australian surfers standing up and surfing in, and he decided to make his own surfboard, as you do. And he carved it himself out of balsa wood, 8 feet long, brought it down on a train all the way from London to Newquay. And then he actually managed to film himself doing it. And it's in 1929, and he actually even waterproofed his camera and mounted it on the board. So you got this lovely footage of him surfing into the beach, which is brilliant. We've got a very short clip from 1966 of a Hawaiian surfer by the name of Jack Lydgate who surfed in Newquay and taught people how to surf for a couple of years there. Moving on later, we've got a documentary from 1973, just looking at the early surfing scene, and it's kind of interesting at that point because it's the beginning of professional surfing, so there were people who are actually making an entire career out of it, including Philip Schofield's father, who used to make surfboards down in Newquay. And then lastly, the very first A-rated event on the World Series of Surfing that was held at Newquay was in 1983. And we've got the documentary talking about that, and you get some lovely shots of Newquay, so you can see just quite how much it's changed over the years. But also they're talking about things like, for example, how proud they are of their brand new, never used before electronic scoreboards. So things have changed quite a lot.
You must have been so excited to see these, especially the really early ones.
Yes, I mean, I wasn't sure we were going to be able to get hold of that very earliest one, but fortunately, the Museum of British Surfing up in Devon, they were very kind, and they were able to get hold of the film for us. And no, it's wonderful, and it's so unexpected to see a film like that that's just that old. I mean, and it's in wonderful condition as well. So, very, very happy to be able to give people a chance to be able to see it.
And that fellow, he basically made his own prototype GoPro, didn't he?
Yes, and if you think of the technology they had in 1929, it would have been this huge, almost like 1 foot square box sitting on the end of this balsa wood surfboard, and somehow he still managed to surf on it. So it's quite an achievement.
Were there a lot of films to choose from?
There weren't, actually. I mean, there's a huge store of archive material, but it's actually quite hard to get hold of it. The BFI have done a wonderful job. The BFI player online, anyone can go and look on there. That actually has a couple of films that we're showing over the weekend on it. But they're gradually making more and more material available for people to see for free on the web. But there's a lot more to be done. There's a lot more material out there, and we're very keen to sort of try and make more of it available. Actually, next week we've got another event in Falmouth where we're showing some archive footage of small boats and a family using small boats between 1930 and 1960. We're going to be showing that in Kimberley Park on Friday at 8:45, and then we'll show Pirates of the Caribbean after that, just to get everyone going again afterwards. And it should be a really fun event, but it's just really important, I think, to give people that extra kind of window on history, because just reading about stuff, it's going to be very dry, and actually seeing it on film gives you a completely different impression of it.
Yes, and you're in a tent, aren't you? The Net Loft is a tent off the main arena at Boardmasters, so is it full of surfers?
It is, yes. I mean, obviously, Boardmasters is split into 2 areas. We're actually in the music side of things in the bay there. We're hoping some of the surfers come over from Fistral Beach to come over and see as well. But yesterday, it was mostly families that came in. We had about 30 families or so that popped in and had a look. But we're hoping, as the festival gets going, it'll be a broader mix of people.
Brilliant. Well, good luck with that. Such a super idea. Thank you for joining us on The Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
That's Dave Harris there. So if you are in the Newquay area and you want to catch a showing, it's at the Net Loft, a tent off the main area at the Boardmasters Music Festival at Watergate Bay.